Hello and welcome to another episode of Unisharks. I, Lemon Shark, is our host today. So today I wanted to talk about this book that Mako Shark and I have read and we discovered a couple of months back. And our lovely friend Hammerhead Shark is going to give his opinion on.
Yeah, he's here too. He still exists.
We're going to advertise the book I did to him and see what he thinks. But yeah, so this book is called Aliens. How do you say it again?
Phalanx.
Phalanx.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll include a name in the description so whoever's watching this can go check that out and support the author. So it says Aliens, and that includes the franchise Alien, the movie with Sigourney Weaver back, when was it, the 70s?
79.
Yeah, 79.
Or 78.
So what makes this book interesting? Yeah, 70, around that time. But anyways, what makes this book interesting is that it's those aliens, the xenomorphs, but on a medieval planet. So I know it sounds kind of weird. I didn't know what to think about it at first, but it's actually quite interesting, and I just want to read off the first little description of it. So, how do you pronounce that again? We'll have our friend Hammerhead read for us.
Yeah, it's I don't even know what they're trying to go for, but yeah, it's like a Tagina.
Atagina?
Yeah, or Atagina, or something like that.
Kind of like, what's the name of, Elon Musk's kid's name?
Kyle.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like that, the way it's spelled.
Yeah, the way it's spelled, yeah. And then there's a person named Halia of Lemeth Hold. I don't know.
Well, at least they're being creative with the names, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Garth
Garth Mill? No, Garfield.
Get back to the fort, Garth Mill.
Garth Mill. Stop eating my lasagna. Gosh dang it. But yeah, sorry there, Lemon.
No, it's all good.
Little synopsis that you wanted to share.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I mean, you can still read it if you want.
Here, read this. We'll just read off the second paragraph. It looks nicer anyways.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Atagina was an isolate. Okay.
Just this part.
Oh, okay. Swarms of lethal creatures with black husks, murderous claws, barbed tails, and dreaded toothed tongues rage across the land. Terrified survivors hide in ruined mountain keeps where they eke out a meager existence. Skilled runners travel the treacherous paths between keeps, maintaining trade and sharing information. If caught, they die screaming.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So yeah, it's kind of cringe. I thought it was cringy at first when I first picked it up. It's like, wow, toothed tongues and black demons, but at the same time though, it's like, I guess it makes sense if like these xenomorphs appeared on a medieval planet. That's probably what they would call them. But yeah, I thought it was a very interesting take on the Alien franchise. It was definitely something different, and I liked how it was, even though like it took place on like a planet and not in space, it's still like really terrifying. Just like the whole concept, because like these people have no weapons to defend against these xenomorphs, and their only chance is to like hide away from them. But yeah. Anyways, Mako Shark, want to give your thoughts on it?
Yeah, like, it is just kind of an interesting departure because Alien started off as a sci-fi horror, and then this book takes place at kind of a medieval technology level, like you were saying. So they're trying to fight, aliens with nothing but shields and spears and tactics.
Tactics, yeah.
So there's no like giant mech suit for Ripley to crawl into this time. It's just them with what they have trying to survive. So, and yeah, I'll admit the names are a little weird, like, which hopefully we got across by now. But
what did you think of the characters, especially the main character?
Yeah, she was okay. Like, yeah, we're trying like not to spoil too much. Yeah, the characters are mostly okay. They're not like gonna carry the franchise forward or anything like that, I guess. But no, I mean they're not Ripley. I guess that's the best I can say. But yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, I thought they were interesting. There's so I guess for a little synopsis, so basically everyone in this world lives in like lives in little caves, and they're basically trying to survive or hide away from the xenomorphs, and the xenomorphs just have killed off like pretty much 90% of the whole civilization. So our main character, which I'm not even gonna pronounce her name, it's a she. Yeah, their job is to like run across each hold, I guess, or each outpost, whatever where everyone's hiding at, and try to avoid the xenomorphs just by like stealth. And it's really intense because half the people that go out don't come back, so it's very intense. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out that book. We'll put a name of it in the description. And
Actually, I did remember. Sorry, now that he's describing it, I'm getting all these memories back. So going back to the characters, they actually did kind of progress throughout the story. They're not just one note. Like you see them how they encounter different obstacles and how they handle them each individually. So some of them get a little more callous, some of them get a little more human, and sometimes they revert back to type. So they do grow as characters, and for that reason, and as well as the dialogue and everything else, it is an extremely well written book. Like I was really surprised how good it was.
yeah, I really liked how when I read it, it like really drew me in, and I was really like invested in the story of these people. It's like, dang, how these people are going to survive and whatnot. The main character like wants to have a family and whatnot, but she refuses because she wants to give her children something better than the life of hiding away and whatnot.
Yeah, she's like a strong, independent woman, but she's not a toxic, independent woman.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's for sure.
and like a lot of the questions I had, like how did they end up here and how did the aliens show up? They do explain that by the end of the story. So, and by that point, there's actually kind of a big twist, and that's when, your investment goes 110%. So,
Yeah, that's what I definitely liked about the book. It didn't just like say like a what if situation, like, oh, let's just have aliens appear out of nowhere on this medieval planet, but they actually explain like how they showed up and everything. It ties it back into the whole franchise. I almost feel like it would have been a better movie than Covenant.
yeah, a lot of movies would have been better than Covenant.
Yeah,
Or whatever the heck Prometheus was supposed to be.
I know, right? They should have made a movie of this book rather than that.
Yeah.
But anyways, Hammerhead Shark, you actually seen Covenant or? what did you think of that?
You've seen Covenant?
I've seen both the new movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember parts, but I don't even remember what the order was. The first one that came out, with the new Ripley girl, I think it was Covenant, the first one. No, it was Prometheus. Yeah. I remember Prometheus a lot more, probably because I watched it a couple times. And if it was by itself, it like not having the Alien franchise to back it up, it would have done okay. But since it was connected to Alien, it kind of ruined a lot of things. But I don't know. Kind of change the topic on with Prometheus. She liked the main character, even if a lot of things were kind of stupid in that movie. But she was still a pretty cool character, just not up to Ripley. But going to the book though, as a bystander, yeah. I just want to know, since it's medieval, like, do they launch an alien in a trebuchet?
No.
See, that would have been like a whole new level of fun, I think.
Right.
But
Like, okay, I'm not reading it, but I'm joking.
We don't usually read books, though, do you?
It's been years. I used to
Cultured
like
swine.
cultured. Like I have a lot of Tolkien's books. I really enjoy Tolkien.
Semi-cultured swine.
Oh, shush.
There's a lot of manga, though.
Yeah, no, I used to read a lot more manga. I mean, I do on my tablet, but
Manga.
get out of here. Anyways, I don't know. I wonder if there's like an alien, like fan made manga, or well, there's probably comics.
Oh yeah,
There's
there's loads of comics.
Okay,
Holy
then
crap, there's tons of
okay,
comics.
yeah, then yeah, I could read those. That'd be pretty fun.
There's even the Alien versus Predator versus Terminator comic.
Oh, yeah, that one was pretty epic.
Yeah, that one sounded interesting. I haven't read it, but I've seen stills.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like amazing, but it was just really fun watching them go at it. It was really ridiculous.
Yeah, was it kind of like dumb fun, like Superman versus a Predator?
Yeah, I mean,
Superman vs. Predator.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed Superman vs. Predator a bit more, but I read it when I was in junior high, so I don't know. probably think different. I'd probably judge it differently now if I read it now, but it was fun. Like, but it wasn't really like all three of them at once. The Terminators were basically using the xenomorphs of the aliens to like enhance their technology. So like the Terminator became like alien hybrid or alien Terminator hybrids.
Kind of like the second Predator versus Aliens, where there is an alien predator.
Predalien.
Yeah, I guess you could say
Predalien.
that. Yeah.
Just not.
So it'd be
not as
like
dumb.
Arnold Schwarzenegger with acid blood, because that'd actually be terrifying.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I don't know. Like, okay. Well, it's called Aliens Phalanx. So does it follow after the movie Aliens? Or is it kind of a standalone in the Alien universe?
I'd say it's a standalone. What do you
Yeah.
say,
Standalone.
Mako?
Okay. Okay, because there's Alien and then Aliens and then Aliens. Okay, no. But
Aliens is it?
it's just Alien 3 and 4, right? Do they have titles?
The fourth
Alien.
one's like Resurrection or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Have you seen it?
I've only seen up to the third, where
Oh.
they're in like the jail.
Oh,
Yeah, it was-
we should watch the fourth one sometimes. That one's a hot mess, but it's fun to watch.
I've been wanting to watch the fourth one.
goofy mid-2000s horror.
But like one of my friends that has the collection, the Aliens collection, he says you can watch 3 because it's okay, even though it ruins everything in the second movie. But it's still kind of fun. It still kind of has that alien horror-ness to it. You know, it's dark, no one can see anything. People are getting picked off.
you want to explain what happens or the kind of main premise of the third one?
It's been too
Okay.
long since I watched it. All I remember is Ripley and the girl, they crash land on this planet essentially, and it's like a holding planet. It's like, no offense, I have a couple friends in Australia, but it's kind of like Australia in the 1700s where they kept all the prisoners.
Oh, so it's like a prison colony.
Yeah, if I remember right. But I could be wrong. That could just be the prison section on that planet or a meteor or something like that. I don't remember that much detail.
So you say the main issue you have with that movie is that it kind of gates what happened to the second movie, where like Ripley and Newt like or survive, but then they just kind of throw them under the bus.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen the Mako? Oh, we burn it.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I've read enough about it that I know how it goes. Like, I know that Newt and the other guy die in the beginning,
Yeah.
which is kind of like, well, what was the point then? That'd be like if in Empire Strikes Back, Han and Leia died in the first 10 minutes of the movie. It'd be like, it just took the soul out of the whole deal we got going here.
Yeah, because it was that little ray of like hope, I guess. That other people survived other than the main character.
Yeah. Plus, it was sweet how, Ripley just lost her daughter, and then she kind of finds a new one with Newt, and then
Yeah.
she starts kind of forming a little relationship with the last soldier guy.
Yeah.
So, but then, relationships are like one of the driving forces of any story. It just gets tossed out the window.
Yeah, I feel like Alien 3 would have been better if it had new characters. They could have kept the franchise going if they. I mean, from a business standpoint, it would have been terrible because their main star is Ripley and Sigourney Weaver. But I feel like it would have been kind of a cool direction if they like just kind of took it and started following other characters for once,
Yeah, so I guess for that reason, Ripley's kind of the best and the worst thing about the franchise, because she is like one of the best. I'd say one of the best movie characters ever made. But then they started leaning on her too heavily, where they started making really convoluted stories so that she would still be around, like clones and all this other nonsense.
She lived long enough to see herself become the villain.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Like we talked about, they have her daughter and everything. They could have easily done a story with that.
Yeah, and they made a video game about her that had a pretty decent story.
Yeah, the story wasn't bad. But the gameplay was really good. A lot of people liked it. Well, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Yeah, like I've been saying for years, they should make a second one where you play as Newt when the alien infestation starts.
this her surviving until
Yeah, like
the starting of Aliens.
like that is a video game that could be really scary.
Yeah, playing as a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then that would be a really
Controversial.
because you can't not die in Alien.
you can't not die in Alien.
Yeah, like it
Like,
is.
They don't want to have like a little child get brutally murdered by an
Yeah,
alien in a video game.
exactly. I mean, you can always just go black and or dark or whatever, and just covers the scene. But just the idea of kids dying would really not.
Sit well with the media or
Yeah.
the culture.
Yeah, because I'm. Oh yeah, that's fair. Because like one of the reasons why I just straight out hate the second Alien versus Predator is because there's like a kid and a bunch of pregnant women that die in it, and I think even in horror movies that's kind of crossing the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen in real life. Well, okay, Alien's not real. That we know of.
But if an alien wouldn't like draw the line with kids and pregnant women.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another target.
Yeah,
at that
but
point.
like when you're making a story like a book or a movie, you still have like
Boundaries.
yeah, and people will see it that way. So I think that was one of the reasons that movie didn't do too well.
Well, I'd say there's a lot of different reasons why the movie didn't do well. Like,
Oh yeah,
for
one
one,
of
not only was it like dark thematically, but like it was just so dark, the lighting wise, you couldn't see anything.
many.
Like when I watched it, like you couldn't see. Like they had these really cool props, these really cool costumes for the Alien and the Predator, but yet you could hardly see it. It's like what the frick, dudes? And it kind of felt whole movie felt like a freaking fan made film. Like
yeah,
it's like how is this made by like a freaking studio with millions of dollars on their back? You know?
yeah. I remember
What the
someone
frick?
saying like, "I don't like this movie. It's too dark." Oh yeah, I mean it does get pretty brutal. No, I mean it's literally too dark. I can't see what's going on.
Okay. Getting off Alien really fast. Like, have you guys played Doom? I think it's 3.
Oh, that was funky.
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
goodness.
Yeah, because it was Doom and then Doom 2, Doom 64, and then it was Doom 3.
Yeah.
I played 5 minutes or something of that game. I had to stop because I couldn't see anything. It was like I was going around and it was just like, oh, cool, I'm walking to a wall. I didn't know that past minute and a half because I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, then you finally meet imps, and it takes like 3 shotgun blasts out of the 5 that you're given to kill them.
Yeah, and there's this really, I don't know, it's really bad Doom. But that was just an example of like it's too dark for fun. It's like, yeah, you can turn up the brightness or something, maybe. I don't know. They had some good songs in it though. Oh, that's okay.
Did they?
Yeah, there's a couple good ones. Like they had a different BFG division, if I remember right. That was pretty good.
For Doom 3?
Yeah, I'll have to look it up later.
Oh. I thought Mick Gordon invented that song.
don't know.
Shrug.
Yeah. I know. But yeah, definitely check out the book. It's a good read if you're all into reading books, for sure.
That's
If
pretty
you're
big.
able to read,
Yeah.
Y'all have
give it a chance.
I would pay it's about 510 pages.
Well, Mako read it like in what, 2 days?
Oh yeah, because he didn't put it down.
Oh yeah, because like at first I wasn't too sure, and then I think by chapter 3 it sucked me in. I needed to know what happened next.
Yeah,
And I will say, I don't want to spoil the ending, but I did like the ending. It was
Yes.
different for what most horror movies do today. It ignored a bunch of the dumb tropes.
Yeah, I like the ending too. Like it's a good, satisfying ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just give yourself time. It's not like a comic book that you can really read pretty fast.
Block off a weekend.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I read it pretty quick. That's because I was sick at the time when I got it.
Sick of the time when you got it. Oh, sick at the time.
Yeah, it wasn't COVID. Don't worry, but I had something. I had nothing to do besides just read. So
I mean, you're like holed up in your room and you're like, I hate right now. And just like read until the time was different.
oh yeah, it's time's so bad. I want to immerse myself in a post-apocalyptic world.
I mean, didn't they have like a VR,
Oh, of
Alien?
Alien?
or were they still talking about that for Alien
Oh, yeah, Isolation.
Yeah, in Isolation.
I don't
Oh,
think
that would
so.
be amazing in VR.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, we'll have
Right.
to look that up.
Yeah.
I know some Nauticas in VR.
No, I'm good. I don't want to play some knock on there.
Imagine PT in VR.
I was thinking E.T.
What's PT?
It was a Silent Hills demo.
Oh, that.
Yeah, everyone was super excited, and then Konami was like, "Can't have nice things, guys."
Nope. Now we're gonna have the carrier simulator.
Yeah, we're gonna have you Death Stranding, have fun
I know.
carrying this bunch of packages up the mountain.
But,
Actually, that wasn't even Konami though. That was Hideo Kojima by himself because he'd left by then.
oh really?
Yeah, they did give us a crappy version of Metal Gear Solid though, so they have sinned. They don't get away free.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, that's go check out the book. Do it now, please. But after you finish this episode. But so the next topic I feel like I want to talk about today is a video game called Dishonored. The reason why I wanted to talk about this game is because not only is like one of my top 5 video games I ever played, but I also noticed our friend Mako was playing through it the other day, and I was like, oh, check that out. But anyways, I'll give a brief review. So Dishonored is like a role playing game, but it's not. It's more specifically a immersive sim. We can talk about that later. But it's a dark fantasy game where choices you make a big difference in the story and the gameplay in itself. And it came out, was it 2017 or no 2012? It came out.
2012. It's been a while.
Yeah, I remember it was really popular when it first came out because it's very different. Like, I also really like how the genre it was. Like, it's like steampunk, but whale punk, I guess, because everything's powered off of whale oil.
Yeah, the way they describe it is whale punk.
Yeah, so it's like fantasy and science fiction kind of mixed together because there's a lot of magical elements, but there's also like sci-fi elements in it as well. And it's just very interesting because you never see that very unique blend as well. But I guess Mako Shark, what do you think about Dishonored? Like, why did you play it?
I think it's one of the best stealth games I've played, really, because it's solidly made. You know, like a lot of the mechanics let you just play the game the way you want to play. Like you can be super violent and summon hordes of rats to eat people. So, or chew up bodies. I remember sometimes I get into a fight, kill a guard, and as I'm leaving, I hear like munch, 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 munch behind me. And I turn around and they're eating the freaking body. And it's like disappearing piece by piece. I'm like, holy crap. Brutality. Yeah. By rats. But, you can also go a peaceful route, and it does affect the ending you get and how the characters around you perceive you. And we were actually talking about how there is a little girl in the game that makes drawings of you. So, and the drawings she makes of you change depending on how many people you've killed. So, I didn't kill anybody because I would feel too guilty.
Did it break your heart to see your daughter turn against you?
Yeah, like she's kind of a daughter figure without spoiling too much. And so it's actually really sweet. She makes like a drawing of your character and writes "Daddy" at the top. And I was like, oh, my heart.
No.
So
Let's go stab people.
no, but you can learn different abilities that let you do things like teleport or climb and jump faster. There's different routes you can take to meet your objective. So it's a very well made game. And one of the things that attracts me to it is like Lemon was talking about the aesthetic, you know, because it's very unique. I can't think of anything like it. So there's, you know, cyberpunk, steampunk, all that stuff. This is the only one I've seen where it's like a mix of, let's say, the industrial age and
fantasy.
Yeah,
Oh,
fantasy, I'd say.
Yeah, and they put a lot of detail into the world. Like, you can like walk around and you can find like little notes of like people written, and it just makes it's so immersive because it makes the world feel more alive, and like these people actually have like lives and whatnot and stuff. But
Yeah, and like one of the tools you receive is a heart with clockwork mechanisms inside it, which is pretty gross. But you can point it at people and it'll tell you stuff about them, and you'll find out, hey, this guy's entire family died in the plague. This guy entered the military so he could support his wife. This guy murdered his friend so he could take his position. So just little things like that. It adds
Little things.
yeah, it adds some depth, you know.
yeah, And also another thing you mentioned before is the powers. I really love games that give you like a really good power fantasy. Like that's why I really love Doom and this game and other games I'll mention later. But you just feel so powerful with some of these powers you get. Like you can teleport and you can like just destroy people. It's oh my gosh, it's so amazing. You can even freaking possess a rat. Like one of the games let you do that. You can freaking possess a rat and like walk around as a rat. But you also can get stomped on by the person, which will kill you. But
really?
yeah, so be careful. Be careful when you use. Has that ever happened to you before?
No.
But you can also play as a fish too.
I just possess a squirrel. I'll just jump into the window.
So good.
But
you've played before a little bit, haven't you, Hammer?
Yeah. I played probably up till I don't remember if it's like chapters, but I played basically to like the first chapter, where you first get out and you're escaping and everything.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was like the first I'd ever seen of that game. Because my buddy had bought it for me, and I was like, okay, I'll get around to that eventually. But it was you playing it that made me think, yeah, it's about time I start this.
Yeah, and
did you play stealthy or?
I was trying to do stealthy, but it was kind of hard.
Still stealthy if there's no witnesses.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to kill people, but I didn't. Unless like I really couldn't pass them. Then I was just like, okay, whatever, let's go. But when you guys were talking, it just kind of reminded me, like maybe not story wise, but gameplay. It reminded me a lot of BioShock.
Yeah.
Probably more the Infinite, because that's a little more steampunkish. Not so much, but it is. You have like a grappling hook thing to go along lines. It's in the sky. They're using wind power and everything. It's 1920s.
Yeah. Would you say they're a little similar animation wise too?
It's a little more cartoony in Dishonored, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they kind of go for more of a stylized look rather than realistic look.
Yeah, well, BioShock's pretty good about not doing that as well. I mean, they still have all the human figures and stuff like that, but it's not like super realistic. They're pretty good about that. But then again, you also have your interesting powers, like so many bees or wasps out of your hand, which is kind of gross. Don't look at your hand when you do that. Lighting stuff on fire, freezing it, lightning, taking control of stuff. There's other powers to boost you up, stronger guns. You can even like take pictures of people, kind of a little similar to the heart, except when you take pictures, it can give you boosts on attacking those people because you find like weak points in the pictures or something like that.
Huh.
I don't know if the heart does that, but it kind of reminded me as well. It's also another first person, not necessarily RPG, but it's something that you also get skills that you can switch between and what kind of use what you want to use against things. I mean, obviously, it's a little more linear than Dishonored. Like you can't really not make a decision that will affect something later on, or like you can change the ending based on if you help or not some characters, the little sisters. Like I think there's 3 endings, at least in the first one, but it's kind of, and it also has that power, charm to it. You can use whatever you want.
Yeah, well, it's actually really interesting that you compare it with the BioShock, because one thing that BioShock and Dishonored have in common is that they're classified as an immersive sim. So, for those out there who don't know what an immersive sim is, so it's like a genre of video game. It's a video game genre, and it's very similar to RPG. But the thing that's different from an RPG from immersive sim is that an immersive sim, which I'll read from the Wikipedia, is that it emphasizes player choice, and that its core defining trait is the use of simulated systems that respond to a variety of player actions, which combine blah blah blah. Basically, like they try to make it as like realistic as possible, where they add like a bunch of physics and a bunch of immersive stuff into the game, and it's usually first person because they want to, without being VR, they want to like simulate virtual reality as much as possible. So we were discussing it earlier. Mako, what was the main difference between RPG and immersive? RPGs have like stats or something like that.
Yeah, the way it explained it, because we all had to look this up, it said RPGs tend to focus more on statistics, which I guess for an example is why they call Fire Emblem a tactical RPG. So, and then an immersive sim is, yeah, they try to immerse you as much as possible. Typically, they're first person. So I think Skyrim would count as an immersive sim. So I think that's the main difference.
Yeah, and immersive sims tend to be first person as well. So another list. So the first immersive sim, I guess, was called. No, what was it called? 1 second. System Shock. So
Oh, I knew
Oh,
it. I knew
yeah,
it. I was
yeah,
going to say
yeah.
System Shock.
yeah, System Shock was apparently like the first like immersive sim, and all these other games kind of follow a similar formula. Another immersive sim that's really popular that Mako's played is Hitman.
Oh, I love Hitman so much.
Except it's
third
not
person,
first.
yeah.
It's not first person though, but it's it's one of those nuances. But
Well,
So I guess,
feel
like-
I feel like it's the game genre that is trying to make you the person, the character.
Yeah, like you control their actions, and then an RPG would probably be stuff like Final Fantasy, where you just tell them, "Hey, hit that thing with lightning," and they do it.
Yeah, or kind of like, for example, like Halo or Metroid or something. They're first person, but you're playing Master Chief. You're playing Samus Aran. You're not playing you. You know,
Yeah,
like Dishonored. I don't think they really talk about the main character's name.
oh, Corvo.
Yeah, do they mention it all the time?
Oh yeah, like his. We can probably just say spoilers. The game's 8 years old.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. His daughter Emily just calls him Corvo all the time.
Okay, because I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Oh what?
I
Oh,
haven't finished Dishonored.
well, you've had 8 years.
I have had the game for a long time. That
There's
is
also
true.
a second one too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird nuance. Like it's hard. It's hard. I guess another way I see it is that usually the immersive sims are more small compared to RPG. Like they're more.
The world's not as explorable.
Yeah, there's not as much to explore, but there's a lot more like density wise. Immersive sim has like a lot more density, but RPG is like huge with like a lot of stuff. It's more about exploring and kind of doing your own path, but story wise, I guess. Yeah, RPGs are more story wise. But yeah. But
So
else-
would Breath of the Wild be an immersive?
No, I wouldn't say it's immersive because you're playing
Yeah.
Link's story.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thinking the same thing.
Like there's a lot of games, especially RPGs, that you can like name the main character. You can name Link. You can name whatever name you want. You can do the main character in Skyrim. That one's you can make the character that you want. But I think the reason why they choose first person a lot is that you don't see yourself a lot. You're just seeing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like going back to BioShock, I think you only see what the main character looks like maybe twice in the whole entire game. Like at the end cutscene, and then maybe another cutscene.
Yeah.
Like when you're seeing pictures of yourself or something like that. Other than that, you start out the game, and you don't even know what you look like. And I feel that's kind of similar with Dishonored. What I remember, you don't really see yourself at first.
Well, you see paintings of yourself, but you never like see a reflection or whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so like that game, like the title of the genre, it's supposed to be more immersive.
Yeah. Like you don't even hear Corvo's voice until the second one.
And
They didn't have a voice actor for him until the second one.
kind of like Dead Space, except they just paid a guy money to go. yeah, exactly like that. So,
Is that a necromorph over there?
Maybe just one of the developers just decided to throw his own voice in it.
Imagine if you had a southern accent. That'd be kind of fun.
And like a zombie with a southern accent.
Oh yeah.
They go, "Ooh," and there's one that goes, "Eh," or something.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
And then a French one that goes, "Eh."
God, don't piss off the French listeners. Would that be immersive? Asking.
Yeah.
Well, kind
I
of.
mean-
You don't really see Isaac until the end.
Yeah, it takes off his. Well, you see him in the front actually. You see him in the beginning, but you only see him from the back of the head. And if you turn the camera around, you can see him.
Yeah, you only see him twice.
But I guess like your choices don't really change anything because Hitman, you have the choice of how you're going to kill somebody. Like,
That's
am
true.
I going to throw them in the fireplace or am I going to
Poison
just shoot them in the head?
Or poison their coke lines.
Oh yeah, that was on one mission. You had to poison their cocaine lines. Just bend over the counter and snort some and drop over dead.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "What happened? Some bad coke."
Let's probably make some Pepsi in it.
What? Oh, jeez. Get out of here.
Back in the good old days.
Back in the old days.
Yeah. Good old days where Coke actually had Coke. I love that one. It was just like a picture. And it's just like, I think it was like a thumbnail. Like we remade the original or like 18 something Coke recipe. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's like, wait a second.
Hold up.
Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, if any of you have any thoughts about immersive sims or what the difference is, please let us know in the comments. We're confused about it too. So
yeah, we played a ton of them. Probably we don't even know the difference.
Enlighten us, please.
Yeah, it's like a game genre is kind of dying out because it's really hard to make them. Like
Yeah.
I was reading an article about it, and they say that investors or game developers don't invest a lot of time into immersive sims because when you make an immersive sim, like you put in a lot of content that one player probably won't see.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of games that you do one playthrough.
Yeah.
Um.
But these immersive sims, you have to do like 3 different playthroughs to get like all the different outcomes and all that, and people aren't going to do that generally as much, you know.
Yeah, it's usually until after the game's out for a while and people replay it and like they talk. It's like, oh yeah, did you play? It's like, yeah, I did. It's like, what about that ending? It's like, what are you talking about? Like my ending was totally different. Like, wait a second.
That's what YouTube's for.
Oh yeah, like yeah, of course YouTube now you can just watch any type of gameplay. You can even probably watch the whole playthrough of like the good way or someone going in the bad ending, quote unquote.
Oh yeah. I was watching clips from Dishonored and someone went for a high chaos run through. So like the part where he's supposed to kidnap this lady from a party, he actually kidnaps her and he's taking her down to the boat to do a non-lethal, neutralization, whatever. But he can't get the door open. He was supposed to get the key off of her, but he didn't know. So he just drops her and shoots her in the head and just walks out. And everyone in the comments is like, you just gave up, didn't you? And he's like, yeah.
Like F it.
The effing door is not going to open, then forget it.
Why did you just use your head?
Just
yeet her across
I
the
don't
door.
want to use my head.
What was that movie?
Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Story.
Yeah, the second one.
Uh,
That was a good joke.
Sorry, you didn't watch it with us, but it was after Halloween. But on Disney Plus, there's a Halloween Toy Story special.
Yeah, because
Did
we were
that-
watching The Mandalorian. And hey, this is on.
Yeah, didn't that come out just this year?
It came out a few years ago, but
Really?
yeah, they just added it to Disney Plus.
Okay, because that was the first I've ever seen it, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. I liked it.
Yeah, like if you want to watch it, probably won't talk about it. It's just a little fun little Halloween Toy Story movie. Give you some memories.
But you were saying, like, I guess I can understand why they would make immersive games, like why they would be more difficult to make, because you have to put in a ton of content for the players' different choices.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of like there's the RPG games out there that like have the backing and or the funding. They seem to go all out, and it takes like 5 years, and they make like a really big game. But immersive sims tend to be like smaller game development companies, I guess, and yeah, they're kind of going out. But my hope is that with Cyberpunk 2077, that these type of games will come back more, because the more I hear about Cyberpunk, it looks like it's gonna be like an immersive sim, but like on steroids.
Well, couldn't you classify that as kind of more of RPG?
Yeah, it's an RPG, but they're kind of
Well, but if there are
like
consequences,
the first person moving. They're doing like a lot of environmental interactions. Yeah, I was reading the Wikipedia article, and it said that immersive sims have like a lot more environment interactiveness.
Yeah.
So it looks like Cyberpunk's gonna have that. So Cyberpunk will lean more towards RPG, but it definitely has immersive sim vibes to me. So I'm kind of hoping that'll inspire more immersive sims to come out.
So the moral of the story is go buy Cyberpunk. whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
Or maybe wait for a review, but I'm definitely gonna buy it because I know it'll be at least a decent game. Like I'm not sure. I'm holding my breath on like if it's gonna be the most amazing game ever made in existence, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good game. You know, they spent 8 years working on this, and it's the same people that made Witcher 3, so it's definitely gonna be good. You know.
Yeah, as long as they don't just pull a Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh,
It was like a decade or something.
yeah, that was sad.
Didn't age well.
Yeah, there's another game called Too Human that had a lot of potential.
Oh, yeah.
8 years in development, and
Oh, it fell apart.
Some of the gameplay's not bad, but I
yeah,
don't know about the story. I watched one of my friends play it. It was pretty fun watching. But
yeah, the story was interesting, but just didn't click with everything that was going on.
Mhm.
When you have weird stuff like a laser gun called the atomizer of transhuman nobility or something weird like that.
What is this game? Too Human?
Yeah.
Human.
How's it like TWO Human?
No, did you say TOO?
TWO.
Oh, no, it's a TOO human.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I was thinking like TI. But
Yeah, I mean, some of the powers are pretty cool. And how you
Yeah.
can take down stuff, but it does kind of get repetitive.
yeah, that was a big problem. I guess to explain the story real quick, the idea is that the Norse gods were actually technologically advanced humans that would protect the non-augmented humans. So, and then some disaster happened and they disappeared, and that's why nowadays we're just known as legends. But yeah, it didn't really get off the ground, and it's a shame because it had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I mean, it should after 8 years of development.
Well, what would the sequel be called?
It was going to be about the giants.
Yeah, it would be called Too Human 2.
No, that's when you use the TWO human.
Yeah.
2 humans. There's more than one now.
I guess there's a difference between being in development hell for 10 years and development actually working on it for 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
It could have
Yeah.
been. It could have been like just delayed, and people could have just been messing around rather than actually working on it for 10 years. You never know.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
Yeah, I don't know the story. Sometimes we weren't in the studios or anything watching.
or were we? No, I wasn't there. I'm not sure about you guys, but I wasn't.
Actually, a fun one. There's another YouTuber named Video Game Donkey that came out with a fun video about The Sopranos, the video game. Which, The Sopranos is supposed to be the best show ever made. But the video game was so freaking bad. And it's sad because they show development interviews and everyone's like, we're putting so much work into this game. You know, like, we got all the original cast working around the clock. And he shows actual gameplay. And it's so buggy and dull and just trash in general. It's sad.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into video games, but sometimes it doesn't always pay off.
Yeah.
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 It's not effort that matters. Well, effort does matter, but in the end, if the product doesn't meet the expectations, it doesn't matter how much work you put into it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for sticking around this long. I guess we'll have to leave you tonight, but thanks again for listening to our podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Lemon Shark out.
Sorry.
What?
Go out.